Hi, I'm Bill. I'm from Michigan. I'm going to show you how I did my cabinets. I refinished them or polyurethane them to make them look a lot better. They're like 25 years old. They're solid wood. And they're good cabinets. And we like the layout of the kitchen. And to redo the kitchen would be like $15,000. And then I had it priced out to take these in to get them stripped down and redone. It was going to be $70 a door, and each door was going to be $50. If I had to do my bathrooms, the whole job was going to cost me like $3,000. And then even then, that was just the doors. We weren't sure if they were going to match up with the base of the cabinets. So I decided to do them myself. I went to a good paint shop, a local paint shop. I went to Benjamin Moore, and they helped me out a lot by giving me some tips and selling me a good product. So what I basically did was I take off the doors, and then I spirits, and then from there I put wiping stain on them. And I use Benjamin Moore wiping stain, and then let that sit for 15 minutes. Wiped it off real gently, let that dry for a couple hours, and I used a really good oil-based satin polyurethane. And I used a good brush. I bought a poly brush from them, an oil-based brush, and I put on the stain with the foam brush. And so then I would put a coat on of the poly, and I waited the next day 24 hours and put a second coat on and flipped them, and then did the backs. And I let them stay down in the basement for a couple days to air out so the whole house wouldn't smell that bad. So you can see right now, I redid this kitchen, and I think it turned out really good. It's not 100%, but for less than $100, I got it so it looks like 80–90%. If you come over here, Allison, these doors right here and these doors here were sun bleached. And a lot of water coming from here in the dishwasher, and it just got really worn out after the 25 years that I did this kitchen mess. And so I did it in stages so I wouldn't have to do too much at once. First I started off with the bathroom in a real inconspicuous spot to see if it turned out, and it turned out perfect. And so I did both the upstairs bathrooms, and now I did the kitchen, and I did that section, and then I'm doing this section. So I pulled the doors off, and then what I'll do is I'll clean them off real good here with mineral spirits, and then put a coat of stain on it, real thin. You know, and what you do is you want to have a stain that's one color lighter than your wood. So you don't want to darken it at all. You just want to fill in the imperfections and the bleaching and things like that. And then you wipe it down after 15 minutes real gently, and I'll show you that. And then put a coat of poly on that. I only did one coat on that base, 2 coats on the door. And then you can take these off too. Then now's a good time to do your hardware. My hardware was only 5 years old, so I'm reusing it. And my hinges are in perfect shape. So now we'll go downstairs and I'll show you how I did it the exact. Oh, let me just go with the tools. Okay, let me go with the tools. Like I said, you need a good oil base, a really good product. I didn't go to a mom and pop store where they were going to stand behind their product. Sherwin-Williams, I used Benjamin Moore or Mini-Wax, some good products there. You'll need a mask. This stuff is really nasty. I make sure my basement's ventilated. I use a foam brush at 50 cents. You got to have some gloves so you don't get a big mess. While I did this all, I put new bumper pads so it was quiet. You got to get those. I bought a really good brush, cost me like $12, but and then you need an electric drill to take them out. It's just a little bit easier. And your other tools, a clean dust-free rag, and some mineral spirits. And when you take off the old bumpers, you know, the pads, I use Goo Gone. That seemed to work really well. So let's go downstairs. One of the things I did too that was really important, when I pulled the doors off, where the hinges were, I marked them, I numbered them. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around here. And I did the doors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you're putting everything back together, you know exactly where it went. So just you need a magic marker too. And then the other thing I want to do is talk about sanding. A lot of guys on YouTube tell you to strip the whole thing. The gal at the store I went to said just go real light sand it. So 320 grit, and I just barely sanded it, cleaned it up real good with the mineral spirits because you want to get the oil off first. So let's go downstairs now for the second time. So we're down in the basement now. I got the windows open. Normally I'd be wearing a mask right now, but I'm not going to, so you can see my beautiful face. So here's the drawer right here that I took off upstairs, and this is 320 grit, really fine paper. She said not to use steel wool, and I already cleaned them with the mineral spirits. So I just kind of like just buff them, just real slight. And then I take, I like a sponge brush myself, other people might not, but that's what I'm used to. And I'm going to do the doors because they're easier, and there's my cabinets here. And if you notice, I did have them numbered. I even number the drawers, 1, 2, 3, so I don't lose them. You know, I know where the drill holes are to put them back together. And there's the number 2 right there. So I just go around here, liberally, not gobbing it. Wear gloves, like I said, a mask. Nice even strokes. When I did the cabinets, I always do the outside first and then work in. It seems to work better. And then I put on the wiping stain. Other guys on video, on YouTube, used gel stain. And the gal told me the wiping stain is better, and it seemed to really work well for me. It's even. Not thin, not thick, just nice, and just cover it. And then what you do is you let it soak in for 15 minutes. Right? I did this one 15 minutes ago. I take a nice clean rag, preferably dust free as you can, and I just wiped it down to smooth it out. So there's no gobs. Make sure there's no gobs in the creases, any trim or anything like that. You want to leave it mostly on, but just to even it up. And that was it. Set it there. Now I did this drawer about 3 hours ago. Here's my poly, my oil-based poly. And you don't want to shake that. You can shake the stain, but you want to stir that up. That's pretty well stirred. So this, like I said, has been sitting up at 3 hours. I like to hold these on the doors. I just kept them on my bench. And I just go around. The secret is thin, not too thick. You want to catch all the spots here. Like I said, I put 2 coats on this, 24 hours each. Flip them and do the backs, just so might as well do it, make them look nice and clean. And then let them down here for a couple days before you put them back up in the house so the house doesn't smell. And I think that covers it. Let me just show you. I'm almost done here. And the second coat goes on easier. So you just smooth it out. Try to go even and thin. You don't want any blotches. Like I said, they're not 100%, but they're pretty darn good. I saw one guy on YouTube talking about spraying, and that might make sense, but I'm really used to working with a brush. And that seems like it works pretty well. So that'll set up. When it dries after 24 hours, if you want to go over it real fine, if there's some rough spots with the 320 grit paper, and before you did your final coat, that's cool too. Okay, well that's it. Good luck, and like I said, start out in a small spot. Go to a good store that sells good product, that has good advice. Okay, bye now. Go State, Sparty Nation.